Chapter 73, Suicidal Period. 2 years of suicidal depression. Not 2 years of sadness, not 2 years of I feel bad. 2 years of living at the bottom, where there's no light, no air, no reason to get up in the morning. Sleeping, relaxing, feeling joy, and experiencing pleasure. These 4 things were inaccessible to me, all 4, as if someone cut from life everything worth living for and left only pain, duties, and insomnia. I constantly thought about how to kill myself, not abstractly, concretely, with details, with calculation like everything in my life. Sometimes these thoughts came as a plan, cold, logical, the head computing options. Sometimes as a scream from the place that was so wounded it simply wanted it to stop. But most often, they came out of spite toward Artem. The suicidal part no longer came to visit. She moved in, lived with me every day, simply waited for me to agree. I would later understand. She too was trying to help. The pain that couldn't be endured consciously, she offered to end, cruelly, but in her own way, out of care. Not the method, but the motive. Not a desire for death, a desire for it to stop. Artem screamed at me. His scream hit the same spot as my grandmother's, and I instantly turned not into a mother, but into a 7-year-old girl standing in a corner wanting to die. His words, "You're a bad mother, you don't love me," were grandmother's words in a different voice. And in response to that scream, from the depths, from the place I usually didn't let reach the surface, rose, I'll die, and you won't have a mother. Like me. You'll learn what that's like." That was the most terrifying thing I could think, the most shameful, because it was exactly what was done to me. My grandmother said, "You'll die under a fence." And I believed. My mother died, and I grew up with guilt. Now I myself, in my suicidal fantasies, was doing the same to my child, using my death as a weapon, as revenge, as punishment for his screaming, for the fact that because of him I stayed with Vanya, for the fact that he has parents, both, and I had none. And yet, through all of this, I took out life insurance, not on myself, on Vanya, deliberately, consciously, so that when I killed myself, they'd have money, so my death wouldn't be for nothing, so that even dying I'd be useful. Even my own death I planned as a project, with a budget, a beneficiary, a return on investment calculation. The perfectionist worked to the very end, even death as a project. Why live if pain isn't compensated by joy? But somewhere at the very bottom, where there's no more hope, no plan, no phoenix, I noticed something. I was still breathing, not because I wanted to, not because I chose to, just breathing. And this just breathing turned out to be stronger than any decision. The body, which I'd forced to be silent for 40 years, it didn't want to die. It wanted to live, even when I didn't.